welcome back. Bob the Vape and Computer Guy. Today is going to be the first of what's probably going to be 3 videos of DIY. I'm just getting into making my own juices, and I want to share what I'm learning, where to get stuff, what you need to get started, try and avoid any simple complications that I've come up with, and just how to make the best juice. So I'm going to try and learn it for you and then explain it best I can, and hopefully it helps you save some time and aggravation and money if you want to get started in making your own juice. So I have my bench back there where I do my mixing, so I'm going to grab you and bring you a little closer over there. So if you get motion sickness or anything like that, now's the time to look away, okay? Okay, so now we're over here. I got my notes here, so go over a few things. First thing I started with was just going on Amazon and ordering some PG and VG. Actually, even before that, was doing a little research. Obviously, you have food grade chemicals and items, and PG and VG come in food grade. But food grade obviously is designed for consumption, not for inhalation. Pharmaceutical grade would be the best thing from what I'm reading for inhalation, but it's very hard to find. It's not common. It's going to be very expensive. What everybody seems to go for now is, or what they seem to sell for vaping, is food grade USP, which from what I can understand, it's very confusing. There's a lot of false information out there that USP is, maybe it means U.S. pharmaceutical. Like it's a higher grade, it's a U.S. standard from what I can figure out, and it is what you want. The brands I got here, which were from Amazon, from a place called Essential Depot, all say USP kosher food grade non-GMO. Okay, so that's what I picked up. There's a lot of other ones out there. So you got your bottle of PG, that's VG, and you got a bottle of PG. Okay. Next thing you move on to is flavors, what to get with flavors. And there's a lot of different brands out there. The 2 most popular are the Lorans, okay, these little bottles there. No, it's not too clear. And the Flavor Art, okay. And Flavor Art seem to come in a couple different bottles. I think Flavor Art is where Lorans are like made by the company. They come sealed on the top. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in a lot of places. The Flavor Art seems to be something that maybe resellers end up buying in big batches and making their own bottles. Because I've gotten different bottles. I've gotten ones like this, and then I got ones like this that look like they were pre-printed, printed by someone else reselling it. But that seems to be the way it comes. And I've been happy with both. One big difference I like with the Flavor Art bottles is their dripper bottles. Obviously, a lot easier to measure and prepare things that way than it is dealing with a bottle that is like this, where you're limited in choices. Either you're going to use your own syringe and have to clean it every time, and you're going to waste some because it's going to stay on the syringe, or you can take this and drip it, and it does work. It's not as an exact measurement, and you usually waste a drop or two at the end, which runs down the side of the bottle. So that's one of the downside to the Lorans in these small bottles. One of the best advice things I got was from one of my viewers, Van Occupanther, who said, look at the recipes online, find out what you want before you go and order your flavors. And it makes excellent sense because I go out, I ordered a dozen flavors, and then I realize, oh, but you need custard to make this, or oh, you need some vanilla to make this. And then have to go with a second or a third order and get some more. As you can see, I probably have about 20 bottles right now, and there's certainly more I'd like, but I ordered the flavors I wanted based on some recipes that I saw afterwards, and that's how you should pick them out. Look at recipes online. I'm going to link to a site below that has them. I forget the name. Do I have it in front of me there? e-liquid-recipes.com. All right, and I'll link to that below, and find some stuff on there that looks good to you, and then order your juices based on that. What else here? Flavor Lorans, those are the 2. There's a couple of sites. I ordered bullcityvapor.com after I went to Amazon. I went to Bull City Vapor, and started ordering some more of my flavors. I ended up, I was very pleased with them. I think I ordered 6, 7 flavors, and in an hour it said it was, packaged and ready for shipping. And I had it really quick. And they're in North Carolina or South Carolina, and that's why I tried ordering from them first, out of a bunch of wonderful sites that a lot of my viewers suggested, simply because I wanted somebody on the East Coast just to get stuff faster. And so I ordered from them. Very happy with them. I'm certainly going to be ordering again from them. Again, it was a small $25 order, but it was quick. It was shipped, and I had it in a day or two. So I do like that. Now, here's how I do it when I go to mix something. I prefer more 75 VG, 25 PG mixes. So let's mix up something real small. Empty bottle. Actually, still has some water in it. Let's see if we can get rid of that. You don't see that. I'm cleaning it out. All right. So pop off the top of your bottle. Now, taking VG, what I did, because you want to keep this clean. Obviously, you want to keep this covered, both of these. Don't want to leave them open. You don't want to get dust in there. You're going to be breathing this stuff. Let's keep it as sterile as you can. All right. What I did was, this particular one had a foil top, and I actually just poked a hole in the top with one of the syringes. And I have 2 syringes here that I labeled for PG and VG, not to mix them. And I've been using these 2. So let's say we take VG. These are also, there's a lot of different syringes out there. A lot of them don't have the metal tips. I found these with the long metal tips work very well. Okay, so I'm going to take this, insert it in a hole. Now, VG being very thick, I don't know if you'll, let's see if I can show you this there. This is kind of hard to suck up. So I'm trying to get 3 milliliters here. You can see it coming out there. This is good exercise for your fingers, by the way, because it's actually very difficult. Not very difficult, but you know what I mean. It's not as, just suck it all in. It's very thick. Okay, 3 milliliters. Now, again, I'm new at this. I'm starting out, so some people, if you have suggestions, post them below. I won't be offended. I'm somebody that if there's a better idea, a better way of doing something, tell me. I'd certainly be happy to learn it. So go ahead. 3 milliliters of VG. Cover that back up. PG. Take 1 milliliter of PG, propylene glycol. This is very runny, so it's very easy to suck up. In fact, it drips as soon as you turn the little plunger over there. All right. Cover that back up. And that's what I said. I make just a very small amount. It's a 75 VG, just to play around with. Then you take a flavor. Let's try apple. All right. Apple. Now, I've been shaking these. All right. Just to be safe, make sure it's mixed well, but it's concentrated flavor, so I don't think it settles or anything, but I do it anyway. Now, what I do is, I had a pen somewhere here. No, I did. Somewhere, pen. Here we go. All right. I have some paper towel down on here, and I just write right on here. So I'll write down 3/1, and then I know it's, just for me, 3 milliliters of VG, 1 milliliter of PG. And then I just write down how many drops. So if I take the apple and I go ahead and put in, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops, and then I'll write apple 5. 5 drops. Because I find when you start playing around with things a lot, before you know it, you forgot, oh, how many did I put in? And it's good to know. So this is a very small batch. It's very small. Mix that up. Doesn't smell very strong, so apple may be a flavor, and I haven't tried the apple yet that needs more. Then what I do, and I'm going to go re-wick this, so take 20 seconds out here. Okay, I'm back. So what I do is I just make a very short little wick there, okay? Just enough that if I drip on it and I really don't like it, I could easily just change the wick. So I tuck a small wick down there and dripper. Try my new juice. A little more on there. definitely too weak. So, then I'll go back. Now, I've already used a little bit, so at that point, putting in 5 more drops doesn't mean necessarily that you need 10 drops to get the taste you want. It really is a lot of playing around, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 ways of doing it. You could be somebody who's very scientific and really measures out, I put in 4 milliliters, I put in 5 drops, I didn't like it, make a new batch. 4 milliliters, 10 drops, try it, and play around until you get it right. This is certainly one of those things that's both an art and a science. You have to have good taste. You have to be able to know, if I mix peach and pineapple with a little bit of this, then it's going to come out really good. And you have to have that artistic point to your creativity. I'm not too good at that stuff. I'm more where I could measure it out and come out with the exact numbers and try it. If it doesn't work, make another batch, try more. Doing that though, you will go through a lot more juice. You will go through a lot more experimenting, a lot more washing and taking everything back to the sink and cleaning everything out. That's kind of unavoidable. So it is time consuming in that respect. So now I doubled the amount of drops in here, even though I already did use some of the juice. So it wasn't a whole 4 milliliters, but go ahead and recoat that. And again, not changing the cotton makes it not very scientific because I'm just putting it on the old juice. But that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to play around with it. And that's again, first stages for me. That's the way I do it. Certainly better, but I'm learning that this apple is not a very strong flavor, so you would end up just having to use quite a bit more juice. It's the only way to do it, a lot more flavoring. And it's a lot of playing around like that. Another thing I've been doing once I'm done with that is throwing it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Or it's an ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm not cleaning it, I'm aging it. As you can see here, I have an ultrasonic cleaner. And I'm going to link to a video by Vape Miser where he did a very good experimenting and review of steeping your juice in an ultrasonic machine. He did it all there. So I went out and got an ultrasonic machine. This one goes for, I think it's $43 on Amazon. The nice thing about this one is it does 30 minutes at a time. Most of them do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just made to clean jewelry. I think Vape Miser was determining that an hour in here was like a week of steeping, something like that. But this is a half-hour one, so I'm doing 2 half hours at a time. It's just because this was again a $43 cleaner instead of like an $80 one. But it does work. And taking your juice when you're done with it, this is some strawberry that I made up, strawberry vanilla, and throwing this in there for a little while. This was clear. It starts to get a little darker after just 30 minutes. And this is really good. This is a very juice that I'm very happy with. Oh, it smells great. So that's the process that I've gotten to so far. And it's just a matter of playing around with it, constantly cleaning little bottles. The best kind of bottles are like these little kind here. These are great for doing DIY stuff because you can put in very small batches, drip easy and test it, and it's nice. So, costs in terms of getting started. If you went out and bought a 30 milliliter bottle of juice, either one of these type of bottles, all right, you can spend at a cheap juice, you might spend $10, a good, a high end, or I shouldn't say high end, but just some name brand juices out there may charge you $25 a bottle, maybe even a little more. Basically, if you get a bottle of PG, bottle of VG, a dozen flavors, 10 of these syringes, and maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of these little bottles, you'd spend about $50. That's it to get all of that plus shipping. So these 2 bottles here can produce, I think I came out with 63 bottles of juice like this. Now that's assuming you mix in 50-50 and you have enough drops to make everything you want. But just to give you an idea, for $50 you can make about 63 30 milliliter bottles of juice. Now of course a lot of it's lost in the beginning experimenting, but once you find flavors you like, you can easily make them, reproduce them, and really have a great time with it. So I think it definitely pays. It's something to get into. As I said, after vaping, then comes normal using coils and getting into vaping. After that comes building and learning how to drip and build your own coils. I think DIY is next. I like it in that progression, in that order. Not that that's a requirement. You can get into DIY the day you start vaping if you want, but that's the progression that I did. So there you go. I think that's enough to get you started in DIY, just understanding. Now, one thing I haven't covered is I'm not using nicotine. I'm using zero nic. I don't vape nicotine anymore. I don't need it. I don't require it in any way. If you are, that is a whole nother ball game. There are other videos out there of other people that talk about using nicotine, and there are certainly a lot of articles. What you have to be very careful with nicotine is safety. Nicotine is, in concentrated form, very dangerous to get on your skin, to get into your body that way. Concentrated form is extremely dangerous, it can make you violently ill. You need masks, you need gloves, you need to protect yourself. So if you're getting into nicotine, read up on that. Be sure that you're doing the right thing and that you're safe. It is not something I am going to cover here because I don't use nicotine. I don't want nicotine around me. I don't need it here. I don't want it in the house. I don't want it, it's just not necessary. So there you go. I mean, that's my DIY experience in terms of buying stuff, what you need, getting started with flavoring. The taste of the Lorans is fine. They're more candy type flavors, where I think the Flavor Art are certainly more realistic type flavors. At least that's my experience in the few that I own. Plus the Flavor Art come in drip bottles, which is much more convenient, so I certainly recommend them. They only go for about $3 a piece. I'm going to list it all online. Like I said, bottle of PGVG is like 25 bucks. A dozen flavors at $3 a bottle. You're talking 15 bucks. 10 syringes is like 8 bucks. Bunch of bottles is a few dollars. You're talking $50 plus shipping total for everything you need to really get started, and then just buying some more flavors after that. So I'm going to link to all that below. I'm going to link to the sonic machine that I use. I'm going to link to the video on using this by Vape Miser. I'll also put some sites that some people have recommended to me. Bull City Vapors, who I've ordered from once and was happy with that order. OneStopDIYShop.com. And eliquidrecipes.com is great for recipes. So my next two videos, I think I'm going to do one once I feel really comfortable that I have some really good juices, and that I'm happy with what I'm making, that I'm making enough juice that I don't feel this urge to constantly try new stuff by buying it and wasting it, but instead I can just play around with it myself and come up with new juices. I'll put a video out on that, and then I think that's probably going to be a month from now or more. And then somewhere down the line, when I feel like I really got this down and I've been making a lot of stuff in a couple of months, summertime, I'll put out a final video on this, a third, more advanced stage. Hopefully I stick with it and get to that point. So if you have any links, any other sites that you recommend, if you do it, if you're into DIY, and like I said, I'm just getting started. I know many of you have been doing it a lot longer, for years, and have a lot more experience with it. Any recommendations, put it below. It helps the whole community. Anybody who's going to be reading the messages will learn. So it's not just for me, it's for everyone. And that's great. I don't normally ask, but I will. I've never asked, but I'm going to ask, please share this video. I think it's a good thing for people to get into. Please share the video, like it, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and hope to see you soon. I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.